Welcome to the Creative Masterminds podcast.
What's good, y'all?
And so, who we got in the house?
Cash 3, what's happening?
Yeah, buddy. Got Cast 3 in the house and got yours truly, Sean Breeze, in the house. And thank you guys for tuning in into another episode of the Creative Masterminds podcast.
For Fire podcast.
For sure, super fire. and that was not hilarious. That was not a sound effect too. That actually sounded pretty good. That was good job. That's hilarious. Yeah, actually, instead of us buying like some type of soundboard to start, inputting horns and stuff like that, might have to do that Police Academy stuff.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hilarious. All right. For this episode of the Creative Masterminds podcast, we want to discuss the state of hip hop. How we feel about hip hop at the moment,
Straight up.
what we like about it, and what we don't like about it, and how we see ourselves improving the state of hip hop, because we don't want to just talk ill of hip hop and then not have a plan or have ideas as to how we can better hip hop. We just want to give you guys our opinion, our views on how hip hop is nowadays to us from our viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And so hip hop, a lot of trap is popping right now. Trap is hot. Hi-hats, a bunch of hi-hats, very speedy, a lot of melodies. Mumbles, I don't think mumble is not as prevalent as it was maybe a year or so ago, but there's some mumbling, a lot of drug usage, a lot of drug talk. I'm talking about mainstream hip hop, I guess you could say. And I'm pretty sure there's quarters, of course, like pockets where it's like good hip hop, but I guess you're just saying mainstream hip hop in general. So yeah, that's the landscape of hip hop right now.
Radio joints, what you hear on the radio.
Radio joints, just like that's just the saturation of these same sounds over and over. It's basically Atlanta sound running the radio all day, every day, with hints of Drake pop. So that's right. That's the current landscape, how I see it. And go ahead, comment on how you feel about the landscape. Also, you can, of course, provide your input on how you see the landscape yourself.
Yeah, I mean, hip hop is, as everything, is evolving always. So at this point, I mean, and with anything, it's a young man's game. So right now, what we see that is popular and whatnot, that's what the young people are into right now. The tight jeans, the small ham bone necklaces. Is that what it was?
What, the chokers?
Yeah,
the chokers.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Diamonds, and back in the day you had the spinner chains, G Unit, and
then you had the spinner rims too.
Exactly. Yeah. Spree wells.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I mean, it's a young man's game. So it's where we're at the certain point in time, and that's where we're at right now.
Well,
and
I have a question. So like, it's a young, I guess when I hear it's a young man's game, maybe I feel away because I'm older now, and I feel like I want to get still into the game, the rap game. However, do you see that changing at one point, that it would no longer be such a young man sport? I know for the most part it is young man. However, we do have like the legendary rappers who are still around. We got Jay-Z, of course. Right. We got Nas put out a project. Project was, it was all right, truthfully. We also got the veterans, Rick Ross's, even Pusha T. But I'm pretty sure there's loads of different veterans who are around, like, they're 30 plus, but in this game. But however, I know they did establish themselves when they were young. But I guess with that said, could eventually change where it's like more diverse as far as age? Do you see that happening?
I think that has to do with the consumers, and the consumers are young mostly, I guess. I mean, that's what it seems like. So whatever they like is what's popular, and what I'm saying as far as the young consumers, and that's where typically brands and things that they want to sell or whatever, that's usually where they go to the younger audience. So, but like you said, I mean, it's also you have the young group and the old group. So there's different facets of hip hop. So I mean, you can't. It's so broad now. I mean, its branches have went into so many different industries, and I mean, really, it's fueling society. hip hop, and it has been for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that's the young man's game, and when I'm saying that, it's like in football, in
Yeah. Okay.
basketball, and anything that those the youngins that come in, they kind of guide where it's going, and the older, ones with more knowledge and wisdom, they should be grooming them and helping them so that it goes further in the future, it goes further and beyond, and grows and gets better. But in hip hop in the past, what it seemed like is the veterans and the older cats that they didn't really groom those coming in, so it's a separation. But hip hop it's all one thing. The youngins, the older, those in the middle. I mean, and it's like I said, I think it's fueling society. So I mean, it's just what it is. It's hip hop in a whole. You're gonna have trash, you're gonna have good, you're gonna have great creative parts of it. You're gonna have the dull and the bland. It's hip hop. It's what it is.
I think that's definitely true
Yeah.
for like mainstream for sure. For sure. I think it's difficult. Or I guess you don't really see too many like new old artists, like new like artists who like start when they're like 30 some. I mean, there are some people, I think
Exceptions.
Rhapsody,
Yeah.
Harris, of course she's not mainstream like that. Rhapsody, but even like with Rick Ross, I would say I think he started post 30.
Yeah. Or late.
Like
30s.
at least
Yeah.
started getting popping post 30.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So yeah, I can definitely see your angle as far like it being a young man sport, especially like with the mainstream area. I forgot why I was going to capitalize off of or what I was going to talk about. Recap what you just said.
About it's fueling society. Hip hop.
Yes, okay.
It's in its tentacles, its branches are in so many different industries. It speaks for itself.
Yeah, I would say like yeah, I think that was part that I blanked out on the fact that hip hop is culture. I mean that's a fact. Hip hop is culture. Current culture, hip hop started in New York, and it has grown to be in like London. You even got in certain parts of Asia, where hip hop is prevalent.
Oh, yeah. It's worldwide.
It's worldwide,
sure.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, there's definitely no debate as how powerful hip hop is. And I think with that, I think at its current state, it's in a very freestyle type of form where it can go any way, where there's like no guidance to it, there's no structure to it, which is cool because it can lead to some type of new sound, new things, like new inventions, new ways of doing music. However, it could be detrimental because if a wrong person yields that power and use it for the detriment, like we can say that with mainstream radio, mainstream music, the powers that be who control the music, not to be too deep on it, do tend to push out the more negative hip hop as opposed to the more positive hip hop, like with the Rhapsodies and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And so hip hop is powerful. Hip hop is culture. Hip hop is really everything at this moment. And so we have to be very mindful, or the people who create hip hop and people who are in the hip hop world have to be mindful of the content that they put out.
For sure.
And not just necessarily do things for the trends of it or just for the cool factor of it. Like, it seems like the current trend nowadays with hip hop, people are getting face tats. People are getting, becoming druggies, even though they may not even, or they rap and promote about drug use, even though they may not be drug users themselves, but they promote their energy out there.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like, it's a lot of this day and age with social media and the access to fame, or blowing up. So it's a lot of them that are doing whatever to get seen and to get fame. They're growing up in a tough situation. They're poor, they're in the hood, whatever it may be, or they're just not happy with their situation. So they're trying to create a better lifestyle, a better way of living for themselves. So they're like, well, nothing can be worse than what I'm doing, what I'm living now. So let me get this face tattoo. Let me do this. And what I was about to say earlier was Tekashi 6ix9ine or whatever. He got known from the way he looks, from the visual aspect of it. Nobody had even heard his music, but he looked so much like a character or whatever, you know.
Yeah, the
People was
rainbow.
like, what is this about? And he got on before his music even got on. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, because we're also in the era of the troll, where people are doing things or saying things just for attention, or as the younger people may say, clout chasing. I think that's how you use it. Young people comment, you know, whatever. And so they'll do like you said with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who actually makes pretty decent music from what I heard. I haven't like sat down and heard like a whole project from him because my head can't take it, honestly. But like from what, okay, I get in like doses, like okay, it sounds okay. I can get it. I get it. I understand. However, like you said, I didn't really. I was more familiar with Tekashi's antics,
right,
his craziness that was going on outside of the music before his music. And so I guess with that, I would say that's problematic within itself. The fact that people aren't putting the music as the forefront, they're more so just want to get attention and get things that kind of lead to the music. But yeah, I guess that doesn't really make too much sense. Like, how do you, what's your take on that? Like the fact that people are like trolling to get their attention or whatever, and then putting music to.
That's the landscape. That's where we're at right now. Like even who was it, Bunk Gang or whatever?
Bunk Gang, yeah.
But yeah, that dude, like, you know, he was videotaping himself jacking people, taking their stuff, and then running and laughing about it or whatever. His antics, like you said, that's the key word. That's what they're using to try to get on. And then last week, this dude, from a drug-induced slumber or whatever, fell against the wall during an interview and almost passed out. Somebody called him. Yeah. And then a couple days later, this dude is shot in the leg or whatever. So he's
the same dude?
Same dude. He was shot in the leg. He just recently was shot.
Okay.
So he's crying and
he's crying.
Yeah, he was crying on interviews.
That's hilarious. I mean, that's not hilarious to get shot. It's not hilarious. But I'm saying, like, you know, it's. But I'm just saying. My bad. Continue.
Yeah. No. The whole reason I was saying he was crying though is because this dude is hurting, man. Like he was hurting.
That's true.
It wasn't because he was shot. He was hurting, and that's why he was lashing out, or that's why he was taking the actions of using drugs and self-medicating and all that. And you know, that's the thing. Like, you gotta. Which is not being promoted in hip hop as much as it should be, but J. Cole did. That's why, I'm a fan of his. Is you got to get your inner self right. You got to get your inner being right before you can do things in the outside world the proper way.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
He wasn't right inside, so that's why he was doing that. He's just trying to get fame and all that. He did get a little bit of fame. You know what I'm saying? He acquired that, but then it was a whirlwind. It wasn't what he thought it was going to be, for one, probably. And then he couldn't, his inner being couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it anyways. You know what I'm saying? So getting more money, getting more access to certain things and all that is going to be worse for somebody if their inner person is not healthy, just so to speak.
No, I actually agree with that. Like, because, to your point, a lot of people believe that, all right, there's this one magical object that they need to obtain, and then once that magical object is obtained, then they're happy. Then all the problems of the world end and cease to exist.
Money.
Money.
Finest girl.
Cocaine. I don't know. I mean, for real. Like people like, let me get a kilo.
You talking about Rick James?
I'm saying, maybe Rick James, like, I just need this 1 kilo and I'm good for life. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing is, like, no, that's a fallacy. That's false. It's not real. Yeah. It doesn't stop. The thing is, it has to be. Like you just said, like, you have to achieve some equilibrium, some balance within self before you go on and try to take on this world, because this world is a beast. This world does not give a damn at all. I'm sorry to break it to you like this. I'm not sure your mama didn't tell you. I guess your mama didn't tell you, but I'm gonna tell you because I'm your daddy. No, I'm just crazy. But I'm just saying in general. I think Chris Rock had a joke saying is that as soon as you walk out the house, nobody gave a damn about you. So basically, the people who gave a damn about you, you left them as soon as you walked out the house.
Yeah.
And
that's if they do.
Yeah,
really.
for real.
I mean,
And some people don't have that.
Yeah.
you know, which is cold. And so, with that, yeah, like you up here trying to chase this this big dream, but you yourself aren't good. I would definitely say that, hey, make sure yourself is good. I would say that's what I just chose to do after leaving my gig. Instead of like, the best decision I made was not to just go immediately into like go mode and just go get it like that.
Yeah.
I took some time to myself to get my mind right, my body right, my spirit right, to get all those things, the Holy Trinity, good.
Yeah.
And then once that was good, like, okay, you know what? I think I can take on the world now. And so, but even with that, you can get yourself to a certain point where you feeling good, and then you take on the world, and the world's a beast, like I said, and it will knock you down a little bit here and there. But you got to take your time again to get yourself back right, and then go against the world, because in order to achieve what you want to achieve in life, you have to go against the world.
For sure, yeah. I mean, that hits right on point. It makes me think. I had mentioned this book, or I tried to in the last podcast.
Double back.
Yeah. But The Warrior Within, Bruce Lee. It's about him. His wife wrote it, I believe, and it talks about what you're saying, like the balance, and when things come your way, you got to be able to handle it or whatever. But it talks about the yin and yang, and a lot of people have that concept kind of wrong. They think, that means good and bad, dark and light, or and think of them as separate. But actually, it's all one thing. It's all together. It's all tied in together. It's male, masculine, and it's feminine. It's hard. It's soft. It's firm. It's soft, or those type of things. And then each one, it has a circle of, like in the black wave, or whatever you want to call it, that portion of it. It has the white circle within it. So even when say the black is the I think that's the yin. So that would be the soft or the feminine or whatever. It has the masculine also within it. So it pretty much says while you need to be firm, or say the yin is the black side, and the yang is the white side. So the white side represents like the masculine or the strong, and the feminine represents the black represents the feminine or the soft, and it's many different things, light, dark, and all that. So, but within it, you need both, and to be complete, you need both. You can't separate them, and that's why even with man and woman, a man should be strong and all that, but also have a soft side as well, and a woman should be
So like after I do like weights at the gym, I go pick flowers with my lady. Basically, that's what I do.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Go bake some cake. Okay.
Or go get a massage or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. So, okay, understood. Yeah. I got the secret to life now.
But yeah. And that's like also in the way of the superior man, it also talks about the masculine, the feminine, and that also. Oh, yeah. So it's many different images or different ways of thinking of this and seeing it in reality. But also it's like the tree. There is an oak tree that's stiff, and then there is the willow tree that bends with the wind and then snaps back. So you need to be able to bend with what comes. You need to maneuver and mold with what comes and accept it, and then it'll be the opportunity where you come back straight and you bounce back and go even further. And the oak tree, if you're too stiff, when the wind hits it, it's gonna break. It's gonna snap because it's not gonna be accepting to it, susceptible to the wind and the bad energy or whatever that comes forth in life. You need to be able to handle it. But that's what I got from the book. If I start talking about that,
No, it's like no, that's pretty good information. So,
Yeah.
how would you say that? Well, how would you translate what you said to like a newer artist in a way that you think will help improve them internally, so they can, not try to chase these things, not try to clout chase through these trolling, all these different antics to get on, and just be themselves, do dope music, and just let it rock like that. How would you talk to them about that?
I would say, to work on your inner self, be happy with your inner self first. Do those type of things. It's like I was saying earlier, or just discussing earlier, is it's like you have a motivator within yourself, and you need to feed that to continue to motivate yourself. So you need to have those type of things that are inspiring to you, that motivate you, that give you that drive to go out and get it. If not, your motivator will go dull and nullified, and it won't be able to help you. You won't be able to use it, because it's like a muscle also. It's like, because you haven't worked that out. You haven't fed it. So it's going to starve, and it's not going to be helpful to you,
That's true, because it'll be times where I would have like urges to do things, right? And I know it's a thing that I should do, and I know it's like a good solid idea.
Yeah.
However, I don't even do it. But then eventually it just, like you said, it just dies out, and then that's when the moments where it's like a month or two later you see somebody with your idea that you came up with, and them
That's cold.
succeeding.
That's cold.
Yeah, right. And then it's like, and to me, it's like a shot. I think that's a shot like God takes at you. Like, I gave you the idea, but you didn't want to run with it. So, what you want me to do? That type of thing. And so,
Sure.
yeah, for sure. So, it definitely agreed that, before you take on this world, make sure yourself is whole, and then everything will fall in place.
And another thing, just for them as well, is like I was saying, be like the tree, or like water. Bruce Lee says, where you can mold to what happens, and
That's true.
It won't get you depressed or get you to the point where you need to take drugs or self-medicate or need an outside source to create and to do what you're supposed to do, as far as like your purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. A lot of times, the force that comes at us, because it's gonna happen. It's inevitable that we go through things that we're not happy about, or things that bring up a tension in us, and then we're uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable about, or whatever. But that's life. All emotions are not going to be happy or the best or whatever. So we need to be ready for when that comes, and handle it and move with it. Not just stand there and get knocked down and not get back up, but be able to work through it. And,
Actually, I was just talking to a homie yesterday. It was more so like, I think like a nephew of my fiance. But anyway, I was telling him how being uncomfortable, those are the things that you need, that's required for you to grow. It's essential.
Yeah.
And like because he was talking about how he volunteered to be a bartender, even though he didn't know how to be a bartender. But he told him, he's like, all right, if he basically said, if you're willing to teach me, I'm willing to learn, which is like a solid thing to say.
Hey.
And so, and he did the bartender gig. He was scared at first, but then he ended up doing a pretty solid job, got some tips and everything like that. And so, with that said, like you got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions, or if you're in an uncomfortable position, don't try to escape it. Sit in it, be in it. Exist in that uncomfortable position.
For sure.
And usually, at the end of it, you find some type of comfort, and then, or at least figure a way out yourself to get out of that comfort. Or I would say the main thing would be like to learn what's making you uncomfortable, and then attack that head on.
For sure. And don't run from opportunity.
That's
that
true.
Was, he could have, he could have ran with the fear or let the fear take over and be like, nah, I don't. But and then somebody else would have had that opportunity. You get, hey, when the opportunity arises, you go for it. You know, make sure that you feel that that's the right thing for you to do, and then knock it down, man. Knock it out the park.
And I told him that, like, him stepping up like that, that's something that most people don't really do. I mean, that's something that most people don't do. True. And that makes him an anomaly. If I would say, for the most part, if people get asked to volunteer for something, they just gonna sit quiet and just like not say anything, like nobody said anything in the room. But him showing ambition, him stepping up, that's basically the type of mindset you need if you want to achieve anything in this world. And so I think we kind of almost diverted from the hip hop conversation, but I think it's like very valuable information that creators in general need to hear.
For sure.
Whenever they want to, if you're seriously thinking about putting your art out there and trying to make money with it.
Because you can relate that to acquiring a new skill set. That's what he just did.
True.
And his pay grade, I'm sure, goes up.
Yeah.
Since he did that.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, with that said, so with hip hop, where do you see it going eventually? Like, I guess you can do two paths. Like, if it stays on the current path, how bad can you see it go? Or maybe you have some optimism and you see it can turn for the better. Like, okay, maybe this will lead to some Jesus-like rapper come out,
Savior.
Yeah, some Jesus savior.
Tupac I'll look at it.
Something like that to come save the industry and make it all better. And so, where do you see hip hop going?
It's gonna continue to be, the youngins coming in and changing and evolving it, the sound and even the attire. What they're wearing and all that's going to continue to do that because that's what it's always done, and that's what will happen in time. But I think what's better now for it is the veterans and those who are older. Hopefully, they are more influential to the younger ones, and that they work together and aren't separate. That would make it so much better, and that we would have more control over it. The people that are actually putting in the work in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And not these executives, CEOs, those at the top that may not even really care about it,
Don't care, don't know the culture at all.
Yeah, you've heard the stories about them also being in ties with people at prisons and stuff. And they put out a plan maybe to have this certain type of, to glorify this certain type of music, or not type of music, but certain parts of hip hop because it's so vast.
Yeah.
But glorifying a certain part of it that would help populate prisons and stuff. But, that's
because
for you to do your own research, but that's,
Yeah, I want to chime in to what you just said. Like, I don't think many people understand how music affects you.
Mm-hmm.
Music is vibrations. It's energy.
Yes.
And
frequencies.
And the thing is, like, if you're hearing kill a mother, pop this, da 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 every day, even go to work. Like, I notice when I'll go to work and I'll try to get myself hyped to go to work, I'll listen to trap, right? And I go into work already mad. I'm just mad, just having a frown on my face, just mad, angry. And it's like because of the music that I'm listening to before I go to work. I switch it up now where, like, in the car, I listen to some James Brown. I listen to some 90s R&B. I'm listening to
feel good music.
Yeah, feel good music. I'm riding around with my fiance. We're listening to Mary J. Blige. What's the 411? I felt so fly. I felt like my energy was like good. I felt like she was in a good mood. And I'll usually ride around with her with trap in the car, which is like part of the dumbest thing. Now that I look back at, like, that doesn't make any sense because that doesn't put any girl in any mood. Right. Listening to trap like that. And so like, you got to be mindful of the fact of the music that you digest, and don't think 100%. Yeah, don't think that just because it's music that it doesn't affect you, doesn't affect your mood or make you feel good or bad. It affects you, whether you want to believe it or not. And so you gotta be mindful with that. And I would say that to also extend that thought as to the artists and producers who are listening to music or current music. I think you got to be mindful of that as well, because if you keep listening to what's current, you're gonna keep making what's current, and thus you're gonna be in the same field as most people.
Not gonna grow.
Yeah, you're not gonna grow. And so to help yourself get out of that, and what I've been doing recently, I've been listening to other types of music, just like like not too much of a deviation from rap. I've been listening more so like 90s rap and also 90s R&B, as you can tell, like with me listening to What's the 411. And so listening to that has helped like with my production tremendously, like with the melodies and just like the fact that you hear singers actually croning and stuff like that. And you hear their melodies that they pick up. You can take those melodies that they sing and put those in your songs and your beats and that type of thing. And so, yeah, you got to be very mindful of the music you digest, and don't just digest the same music over and over and over. Switch it up and give your brain like some freedom, or give your brain some type of relief, because your brain can't take it, whether you believe it or whether you know that or not.
Yeah, so, yeah. And to backflip off that.
Yeah, backflip. But the somersault is hilarious.
But yeah. It's like what you were saying about, being mindful and what we allow in our spirit and in our body and in our mind. Most people, at least I've already kind of knew this, but most people, you might have or might not. Scientists have came out and said that it's a fact that they are able to tell now that we absorb other people's energy.
Oh, I saw that post. I saw that.
So you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So, and that goes with music and what we take in, because it can change our mood. It doesn't take much to change a person's mood, especially that is not aware of, what they're doing. They're just doing the rat race, just living every day and just getting things done or whatever. But that's why I say you gotta take time to try and be conscious of now and be happy of things now. Don't let the outside problems of the world or whatever, the things that's coming, you got rent coming up, you got this or whatever, don't let that press you down, and not where you can be conscious and living in the moment right now. I'm free, I'm blessed right now. True. I got a family, and things that you can be happy in, and things that you love that are you're experiencing right now. Because if you overlook those, then you're just going to be living a life of to the next thing and never enjoying and never smelling roses or what.
Yeah, I like to definitely piggyback off that joint. Yeah. Because I remember at a point before I left my job, I felt like I was like in my car. I was in my car and I was thinking, because I was like really frustrated with life at that moment. And I was thinking like, damn, like I feel like I'm chasing. I feel like I'm just running. Like instead of like actually existing and kind of like just absorbing things, I'm running. I'm chasing something, and it's exhausting. I was like very exhausted, and I didn't break down or anything at that moment. However, it was like a moment where I realized that something has to change. Like, because I can't be feeling like I'm just chasing, running, and I'm running towards nothing basically.
That's a blessing that you even came to that point. Because some people don't even. Do you know how? Because that's where you pivoted.
Yeah.
And you went a different direction,
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, if you find yourself in that chase mode where you just basically feel like you have no control over your life and that you just going, I think the best thing you can do is just stop and just chill out. Eventually, you'll kind of get some indication as to where you should direct your life. I would say that's what happened with me, and that would really help me. I also want to piggyback off of what you said about the fact that we absorb people's energy. It's like something I realized, I'd say within the past year. It's kind of funny that actual scientists put out some information to back that up. Thank you, scientists.
Yeah. Right.
But I have a good story, because so it's my maintenance day, right? It's my day where I get my hair retwisted and I get my fresh haircut, just so I can be super duper fly and look fly for my fiance, because that's the only person I'm looking fly for. Nah. And so me in the process of making beats made me late to my lock appointment. So that was my fault. That's me. That's my bad. I own that. But she was cool about it. She did my locks and everything. But afterwards, I have my barber appointment. And I guess he got an argument with his wife. But anyway, he was in a super duper bad mood. Me being around him put me in a negative mood afterwards, where I was kind of like angry and mad. I'm like, why am I mad? Why am I angry? I ain't getting no fight with my fiance. What the hell? But at that moment, I realized, oh shoot, yeah, like people energy really do affect you. And the thing is, I think it might have been the first few weeks out of like me leaving my job. So at that moment, I basically only hung around like my fiance, maybe my homegirl, but like not too many people. So my energy was like for the most part around people who have good energy. So I was all good. Yeah. And that was like that barber was the first encounter of me being around somebody with bad energy. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shoot, damn, my mood changed. Like, okay, this is off.
Yeah. That's crazy that they can do that though. But
yeah, absolutely.
Even over the phone though, you don't have to be in the same room. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just somebody's voice, their tone, and then because the type of person I am, like, and where I'm headed in life, and
there you go.
The
I like
stuff,
that.
the stuff that I allow into my spirit and into my, my mind frame and all that. If it's too chaotic or it's just too
true.
It's like scratching on the chalkboard. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, how can I get out of this? So I'll try to change the subject or whatever and see my way out, because it's too heavy.
Yeah,
and I don't want it. Like I can feel that weight coming. I'm like, oh nah, I gotta maneuver.
That's funny.
I gotta Barry Sanders my way out.
No, I feel you, cause I love peace. I crave peace. I just want peace. And so, like what you said, like if anybody brings any type of yeah, like, hey man, you know what? I love you. You know what I'm saying? But we good. We good over here. I'll find it some other way. I don't need that yeah stuff.
For sure.
Good. Yeah. And so absolutely. So with hip hop, you saying that it's going to hell, and that there's no way back. We're screwed.
Is that what Uzi? I don't know. Lil Uzi Birdie said something like that.
No, it's good with your take on hip hop. I think right now we are in the Laffy Taffy stage, and where everything is like really goofy, and I feel like there may be a Jeezy-esque type person. And what do I mean by that? A Jeezy-esque type person, like a drug dealer? Like, no, like a person who's like, I was listening to Jeezy's Thug Motivation 101, and I remember when it came out, how I guess it stood above everybody else because it was a real, or it felt authentic. It felt like none of the commercial stuff, none of the goofiness. It was just like him talking like, he's talking about thug motivation, basically him trying to motivate others to get up on their job and work hard, whatever. And he was able to pierce and cut through the noise just by being super authentic and not goofy. And so I think in the future, the goofiness is going to run corny to people. Like the trolling, that's going to be corny.
It's gonna be question. How do you feel about like we were saying that the not the perception, the visual aspect of it is kind of trumping music and stuff, like with Tekashi 9, it was his appearance or whatever that got him fame before his music it was even saw. So do you believe that that's the wave of the future, that it's going to be more of a visual type of thing and then music comes later, or
I don't know, because
or is it going to go back to the golden age where
I want to say that like eventually people are going to get tired of being celebrity friends, and it could go back to the whole celebrity being like in the closet type of thing, where he's not seen that type of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it go back to that, era. 'Cause I always feel like there's a threshold to so much that people will take. Like I feel like we're in the boy who cried wolf era of rap and hip hop, where a bunch of people like just do crazy things, crazy antics, whatever. And but when stuff get real, when stuff start to really get real, I think that stuff is going to really kind of stop, possibly.
Yeah, and Pharrell, he said that that the mumble rap or whatever, that he was cool with it and he liked it, and he said that it's pretty much hip hop repeat or music repeating itself. Like jazz back in the day, they had
scatting.
Yeah. So he was saying that this is just another form of that. It's using the mouth as an instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like with the ad libs and all ad lib heavy stuff. So in the sense, it probably will go back to content
First,
some
maybe.
years, down the
Yeah,
next
that was
age.
saying it could be
But
years.
who knows? We don't know how it's gonna evolve really. But
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't know for sure. We just taking our best guess. I guess like trying to study like people patterns and the fact that people eventually get fed up with things. A person like me, I'll get fed up with something like almost immediately. 'Cause I can see the trend. I can see that everybody just following the trend. But
copycats.
but mainstream society, their threshold is like ridiculous. And so they can be put up with something for 10, 25 years, whatever. Then like, okay, we need to change that type of thing.
But I will say this is that one thing that we know for sure is that it's not gonna stay the same though.
No, yeah,
it will change. It will evolve.
Yes.
It has to span its course. Like with Lil Wayne, he had his 12-year, 11. I mean, with the mixtapes and everything he put out, he was smashing the game and all that. So everything has its course. So we just see what it is, but it will change. It will evolve. This is just a part of it.
So how would you say that a person should prepare for the change, or what should a person do? Like, I mean, I'm not being vague with it. Like a person like a producer, artist, creator, whatever in the hip hop world. What should they do? Should they still be trying to follow these trends? Should they be trying to go ahead and try to come up with the new next thing, or what should they be doing?
I mean, ultimately, they should be searching for inspiration. So if what's going on now is inspiring them, then they should do it. But they shouldn't put themselves in a box. They should always be looking for inspiration, like what I'm saying, off of cartoons, off of football, off of something they heard their neighbors say or whatever. Just whatever it is that sticks to you and that you can create something off of it that somebody else would enjoy. That's what it's about. But you could create something just for yourself also to enjoy.
That's true. And
it's whatever can help you create something.
Yeah, I want to add to that, like creating for yourself. That's where I'm going back to. I'm going back to just creating things that I love and I care about, that type of thing, and then let everybody else fall into line with it.
So it's fun doing it, right?
Yeah, so it's fun.
You enjoy it. Yeah.
It's a lot more fun because the thing is, it's like what I said earlier about chasing. You chasing the sound. It's not your sound is gonna sound close to it possibly, but it's not gonna have the same kind of bop that the producer who produced it had, because that producer has his own bop. If that makes sense. And so with that said, I think Mousequake, I think that's his name, Mousequake, and he said this at the producer beat camp that I went to. He was like, turn off the radio and create. Yeah. And so I think with that's actually what I've been doing more so lately, since I've been like, working on my producing craft. I caught the current radio, I guess I could say, where I'm not listening to anything current right now, so I can create things that's different and out the box from what's being made today.
For sure.
And so
that would influence you. If that's all you're listening to, then you're gonna be coming up creating something similar to that in that vein. That's why it's good to reach out in different, different dynamic industries or places of interest in life or whatever. Just live, man, in the now. Enjoy life now. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget what everybody else is thinking about or whatever. Do what makes you happy and enjoy it now. Enjoy the process of doing it now. You know, uh, like finding your passion. Those that haven't found their passion or whatever. I heard something the other day where it says, like, what do you do when you're procrastinating, or because that probably what you when you do when you in that time when you're procrastinating, that's probably something that you would enjoy doing, or is a passion of yours. And then once you find your passion, that's when you try to master it and go hard and all that. But you got to find that first and try different things.
And I would say, unfortunately for a lot of people, I think a lot of people disregard that because they see the lack of money, the immediate payoff of it. Feel like, all right, it's okay. It's like some people can't fathom the thought that they can become wealthy and rich by doing things that they actually love. And so, like, yeah, it's like I just say that to say that I think that's unfortunate. Some people believe that or think like that, but I absolutely believe that, yeah, you should find your passion. And like you said, whatever you do in your downtime that gets your rocks off, which just sounds crazy, do that.
That's what it is.
I guess we can wrap up this topic of the state of hip hop. So I guess I'll give my summary. So in summary, the state of hip hop, I believe that currently is saturated with the same sound, and that eventually people will get tired of that same sound. And from that, there will be newer sounds coming, maybe new flows, new raps, new type of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if rap slowed down. Like right now, it's like really fast, like the hi-hat, all that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if rap slowed down, where it's like at a slower pace and people are actually rapping more so, like they're enunciating their words, that type of stuff. So I can see it going that way. I don't think it's like doomed. I think it's just at a point where it needs some evolution, or it needs some new energy. And I think once it has that new energy, it will go bigger than what it was before. So that's my summary.
Gotcha.
What about yours?
Yeah, it's ever evolving. So it's natural. It's just part of it. And the media is going to blow up or put a microscope on what they feel they can capitalize off of most. But that still doesn't mean the other parts of hip hop and all that aren't thriving and fire and producing great music. So it's just part of it. I'm happy with it, happy to be a part of it and witness so much of it. And I mean, it's going to continue to evolve, and the bad parts of it will, and the good parts. So I'm excited to see what it does as a whole, but for the majority, the good part. That's what I want to. That's what I want to pay attention to.
Well, and I firmly believe that the bad parts are just gonna fall off, because like Laffy Taffy era. Yeah. What other era? We had some bad eras.
But it's always gonna be.
It's always gonna be those.
The gimmick part of it, the stench. Yeah. Part of it, but it's part of it.
Hilarious. All right, so with that said, we have another subject, or the subject that we're gonna wrap the show up with. It's gonna be us talking about our top 5 producers and artists.
Mic check.
Yeah, produce. Okay,
I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Top 5 producers and artists.
You go first this time. I went
okay,
first.
Okay, all right, damn. Okay. Top 5 producers. So for me, Dr. Dre. That's because I've been listening to a lot of Dre now. Dr. Dre, Timbaland, Pharrell, Southside. I love Southside from 808 Mafia. I love his swag. I love how he doesn't really care too much about playing the corporate game. His swag is impeccable. Southside from 808 Mafia.
Dope.
Salute. And his sound is what sound is today, along with him and Metro and TM88 and everything. But Southside, shout out to Southside. I like that dude. And Kanye West. I mean, even though his latest projects were lackluster,
Yeah, you gotta look at his whole collection.
Yeah, his whole
catalog,
collection.
Man. He's a beast.
Yeah, I can't deny that. Kanye West, he's in there in the top 5 producers for me. It's just like the fact that I do like the fact that he does tend to reinvent himself every so often.
Yeah,
and I think that just shows like his evolution. And I'm a strong believer that in life you're supposed to evolve. In life, inside your life, you're supposed to evolve. I try to evolve every 3 years. 3 years from ago, I wasn't the same person that I am today. 3 years from now, I won't be the same. And so, Kanye West, you get the nod just from your legendary production. However, clean up your act, man. You just too much attention. Whoring. All right.
So, producers, you got to do some old school, some the 90s, some now. So I would say Stevie Wonder, old school.
I should let you go first, man.
I would say Quincy Jones, but I got a little bit of a better connection with Stevie Wonder. Quincy was dope though, for sure. So Stevie Wonder, Timbaland for sure. He came in and shook the game up. And Pharrell, another one. Both of them, and they're from the same city, from the same stock almost. They came up at the same time, and they're almost like cousins or whatnot. And so that's 3. Let's see, who else? Dr. Dre, yeah. I mean, you guys should throw him in there, but
yeah, for quality of sound's sake and just mixing and mastering too. I mean, I'm not sure if he does like the mastering like that, but I know he does mixing. But
yeah, I'll throw. You gotta put Dre in there.
It's tough, ain't it?
Yeah, yeah. And then I guess.
That's funny. J. Cole? No.
Yeah. He's dope, but his production is perfect for him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like it's perfect for him. He has some others. I think he did one for Royce the 5'9" and
Bobby LeBeau. That was good.
Yeah, that one was dope. And
High Power.
He also produced one for somebody else I heard the other day that I was kind of surprised about. Was it Janet Jackson? It was somebody, yeah. Somebody that I was kind of, I didn't know he did that. But my last would probably be Swizzy.
Okay,
Swizz
cool.
Beats.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice. It's a good choice. I said that for sure. Top 5 artists. Hove for sure. It's so cliche. Maybe we gotta do a top 5 without Hove. That'd be a top 5 without Hove, Biggie, or Pac. Would that be fair?
That'd be different. We can, be
top 5 without Hove, Biggie, and Pac.
Take
yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Top 5. Well, yeah. The thing is, I'm more of a Biggie fan than a Pac fan, like because of Biggie's wittiness with his wordplay.
Gotcha.
I dig that more, but I feel Pac's passion more. Pause. But it's okay. Top 5 without Hove, Big, Pac, or Nas.
So are you saying not even further back like Rakim and all of them? So
Rakim
starting after them.
I was just trying to figure out how the typicals, how people just say, Big, Pac, Nas.
Yeah.
I try and knock the typicals out.
We did that with the producers though.
That's true. Okay, well, fair enough. Then. Fair game.
Yeah,
then.
just
okay.
go. Just yeah.
All right, Jay. Okay, my top 5 artists. Top 5 artists.
You already
Jay-Z.
No.
All right, no. Hove. You got Kendrick, man. Actually, I love Kendrick a lot, man, because Kendrick, he's a guy who just create phenomenal albums. His albums that he create is like story within themselves. Mm-hmm. I can easily see them going like being timeless pieces where people can go back and just revisit them as if there were what's those deals where you bury into the ground and then you dig them up later.
Time capsules.
Time capsules. Yeah. There you go. Like time capsules, where you kind of get a pick for how it was at the moment, and then that's what it is. For sure. So Kendrick, just for his timeless music that he creates. So I said Hove, Kendrick. I throw Biggie in there for sure. Yeah, I gotta include Lil Wayne, because how influential he is in today's current rap. Like basically everybody's Lil Wayne now, like sounding wise, all that stuff. That's
auto tune.
Yeah, you know, they're like a goat. That's Wayne stuff. So Wayne is up there for sure, and Wayne has also influenced my words, my flow and stuff like that too. So I had to give him that. So Wayne and Snoop.
Gotcha. That's what's up, man.
I give Snoop. I would say Eminem, but those last years, these later years of Eminem have been for me. So I would say I like Snoop not only because of his flow and his swag. I think he brings a lot of swag to the mic. And actually, I heard him on Wiz Khalifa recent project, and he still sounded pretty good. So I'll say Snoop not only because of the swag, but just because of the evolution that he himself has gone through. He has came a long way from bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I don't think he's like that anymore.
Dude got a #1 gospel album.
Yeah, so shout out to Snoop. I'll say Snoop. Okay. That's my top 5 artists. You had ample amount of time to think of your top 5.
Yeah, top 5. Let's see here. I'll start out with 3 Stacks.
God,
Andre 3 Stacks for sure. And he might be one of my at the tippy toppy, especially like for creativity and artistry.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He does his own, forget what the times are doing and all that, the beef, all that bull crap. He, you know, was true artist. He's a true artist with his. And so I hope he drop another album soon. That would be dope. I know he got some shit in the vault.
Oh, but, absolutely. Yeah.
But so yeah, 3 Stacks.
I forgot about Atlanta, like totally.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to switch my mind quick. So take Snoop out and put T.I. in, and I'll leave it.
Okay,
at that.
you go.
Put T.I. in and place of Snoop, because if for me, his influence, his trap music album. Sorry to cut you off, but that trap music album.
No, you good. That's valid. That's valid.
And so his trap music album was influential to me because that album, it basically was him saying, "F it, if I don't make it, I'm gonna sell dope." And so you felt that energy, like that whole do or die mentality throughout the album. So, and also his other works too. So T.I. for me, yeah. I wrote that.
Sure. Tupac, Rakim. I throw Rakim in there. So that's 3. So yeah.
Thinking of a master plan, nothing but sweat inside my hands.
Hey, all of the top, the vets now, the top, lyrical content wise, rappers. They all picked apart his lyrics. Eminem, all of them. They all, Jay-Z, all of them did that. Let's see, who else?
Big Daddy Kane.
if dancing, because he was doing that crisscross feet.
Hilarious.
Then,
that's funny.
I would say, who was it? Kid and Play.
The hilarious house party.
They influenced. If you grew up in the 90s, or the 80s. I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, everybody, seen house party numerous times. Let's see. So I said 3 Stacks, Rakim, Tupac. Trying to make sure I'm thinking of everybody out there.
You got to think about the West. Got to think about the North, South. Even South. Texas.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw DMX up there because in high school, like when we was hooping and all that, DMX was definitely in full effect. And I went to the the Hard Knock Life tour.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I went to the Hard Knock Life
tour.
Word,
that's legendary.
It was fire.
Word,
man.
whoa.
Method Man and Redman, they came in on suspenders in the air. How high?
Whoa,
So high that we can kiss the sky.
that's
all of that.
crazy.
Dope.
Wow, respect.
Yeah,
respect
so
for
that was
one.
dope.
That's fire.
And what I was saying is that at that time, DMX was better than Jay-Z. Like,
are you talking like in like flow wise, or are you talking?
Yeah,
about
just music wise. Like, listen, I would rather
yeah, you're right.
listen
He did
to
have
DMX than Jay-Z.
You're right, because he was banging out hits.
Yeah,
during that time,
and his content was just better. Like, it was like it was.
Because it's deeper too. Because he was like more. He was actually going through real like I won't say like Jay-Z wasn't going through struggles, but Jay-Z was like hustler music to me.
Yeah, he was doing the Orphan Annie, and you know what I'm saying. It's so hard. Not DMX. It was raw energy. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. Get at me, dog. I remember when that video came out, that black and white video.
Right.
The dog. Get at me, dog.
The
like
energy
what?
with that. Yeah. Stupid.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say DMX.
Good one.
And
was that 4 or
that's 4 right there?
Okay.
So this is the last but not least. Let me see here.
Show enough.
It's somebody that I'm trying to think of that because I don't want to do the Jay-Z. I don't want to do the Biggie.
Yeah, I know it's cliche. Almost at this point, but
Nas. I'll do the Nas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with Nas on that one.
Favorite Nas album?
That's a tough one.
That might have to be the next one, the next podcast. Favorite album from your favorite artist.
Yeah, that's a good
that might be a fire one. Okay, I might have to table that then.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
Okay, cool. We'll table that then. Okay, cool. Bet. Yeah. All right. So with that said, this is the Creative Masterminds podcast, and so let's go ahead and reintroduce ourselves at the end so people will know. We're going to drill it into you guys' head, who we are. You will know us. All right, so who we got?
Yeah, Cas3. You can find me on IG, CAS_THREE.
Cool, bet. And this is Sean Breeze. You can find me on Instagram at Sean Breeze. You can find me on Twitter at OG Sean Breeze. Website is coming soon, SeanBreeze.com. BreezeLightMedia.com is coming soon as well. Also, we got the Creative Masterminds, the Creative Masterminds.com coming soon too.
Straight up.
Things stay tuned. Things are about to kick off really soon. It's about to be August. It's about to be hot. And with that, it's going to be a lot of work being put in. So
for sure. And soon, coming up soon, we're going to probably have some guests on and start venturing out that way with it, but
in video
for sure, right? Straight up. So y'all stay tuned. Be blessed.
Take us out. Yeah, go ahead, take us out, man. It's a take us out. Take us out the podcast.
Oh yeah. Y'all stay tuned. Be blessed, and we'll get up with y'all next time. Peace.